everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. This is my September 2025 plan with me, so I'm getting all set up for the start of the school year. By the way, if you can hear noise in the background, you are hearing my dog chewing on his bone. This is the quietest activity I can get him to do right now. It was either this or squeaking a squeaky toy, and I figured this was better. So I'm starting with my cover page. I've got a bunch of washi tapes and the stationery sticker set from Planning with Kay, and my Tombow N95 marker, and so that's what I'm going with. The stationery set this time for patrons came with a stationery postcard, and so I decided to use that along with one of the sort of library card sheets that came in an old Archer and Olive subscription box. I thought that was really cute. I picked the yellow library card to kind of go with the yellow background on the stationery postcard. So I'm just taping those down with some glue tape and adding some cute washi tape, kind of accent everything. Then I'm going to write September just in kind of a plain font, I guess. I'm not really using a lot of frilly cursive in this theme. It just seems to go with the stationery and library type theme a little bit better. And then adding just a little more washi tape up top for some extra pizzazz. And there is the cover, and now it's time for the quote page. I love making quote pages in my journal. I know they're not necessary, but I just really enjoy having them, so I add them pretty much every month. And honestly, with the size calendar and everything I like, I'm not sure what else I would do with that page anyway, so it works for me. The quote I've chosen for this month is by Malala Yousafzai. And it is, "One child, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world." And I love this quote, especially going into the new school year. I think it's very powerful and a good reminder. And if I got any of those things out of order, I apologize. But that's the gist of the quote. So after I get everything written in, I'm going to just go ahead and add some washi and some stickers from the monthly kit at the bottom, just to fill in some space and add some decoration. Of course, I always have to credit the person who made the quote, so just make sure to write Malala Yousafzai's name in there. Being an English teacher, I can't not cite my sources. Kind of bugs me when other people don't, but that's a me thing. So I'm just looking through these pens. These pen stickers are extremely long, so it's going to be interesting seeing what I end up doing with them over the course of this whole month. I am going ahead and drawing in my calendar spread next. I really like a 2-page calendar spread. It gives me plenty of room for when I need to write in a lot of events. There are plenty of months where the calendar spread goes virtually unused, and I don't mind that. I really like having a calendar in my bullet journal. So even though it's not always used, I like having it there, and so I draw it in. And I think that's a really important thing. I think sometimes we can get a little focused on, oh, but it's not, I don't use it. Should I really, waste the time, waste the decorations or ink or whatever in making it? And I think that the answer to that question is, if you like it, then it's not a waste. So even the months where I really don't use it all that much or at all, I still really like having it there. And as I'm flipping through the month, as I'm flipping through using my other pages, I'll stop at that calendar page and I'll just look at it because I like it. So to me, it's definitely not a waste. So now that I've got the calendar grid itself drawn in, I'm just adding the header. Picked one of the header stickers from the monthly kit and wrote in monthly overview. And then a lot of Kay's kits come with these fun number stickers, so I really like to use these in my calendar spreads when I get the chance. They're really fun. She always does really fun designs on them, and even though I can't always read the numbers, which again is just a function of me and the way my eyes don't work, I still really enjoy these stickers, and so again, I enjoy them, so I use them. Oh, right, I'm adding some washi to the top now on the opposite page from the header. Again, just filling in some space. Also doing that on the bottom part of the spread to fill in the empty space after the last day of the month. September starts on a Monday this year, which is so satisfying as someone who has Monday start calendars in her planner. Now adding some fun doodle stickers. It was really hard to choose which stickers I wanted to use for all this because they're all so cute, but I ended up going with I think paper clips and pencil shavings. So I've got a pencil sharpener and just adding some fun pencil shavings and another pen sticker up top and some doodles. It's really fun. I like this one. Just adding the days of the week at the top. I don't strictly need these. I know what day I start on. I know what day is which, but I really like, again, having those days of the week. Now I am moving on to my goals, favorites, and musings page and my habit tracker. I've kind of given up on mood tracking, at least for the time being. It doesn't really work for me very well, so not doing that. So the goals, favorites, and musings I got from Erin Smith. I really enjoy this particular style of setup. I have one line for each week of the month, so one goal per week, one favorite, which I interpret as something I'm just really enjoying that week, and then one kind of random thought for the week. Whenever I sit down to fill that particular line in, it's just kind of whatever random thoughts are going through my head normally. Sometimes there might be something very specific that I thought, like, oh, I need to make sure I write that down for this week. But most of the time, it's just whenever I sit down to fill it out, what's something I'm randomly thinking about. And then I had some extra space on this spread, so I thought I would try something new. I added feelings, and so one thing per week that I'm feeling, and then I added anticipated, and so one thing per week that I am looking forward to. You can see getting down to the bottom here, I actually drew my lines up towards the title so that I knew I would have enough space. And then on the other side, I am putting my habit tracker. So I have one of these fun banner stickers. I think this is actually a little bit crooked. And that is what I get for choosing a sticker set that is primarily sort of black and white and gray. It kind of blends in with the paper a little bit, and it's actually really hard for me to see. So, whoops. Guess I'll remember that for next time. So I think my banner might be slightly crooked, but at this point it's been sitting on there for too long, so I don't think I can pull it back up without ripping it. Oh well. And so now I'm just drawing in my habit trackers for my calendars for my habit trackers. I haven't decided yet what my habits will be. That's fairly normal for me. It's hard for me to decide until I actually get to the month in question and know kind of when I'm hoping to achieve that month. And then because I had some extra space, I really don't like tracking more than 6 habits. It just gets to be too much. So I'm adding some checkerboard sort of washi tape down at the bottom and putting some cute stickers on top for a fun decoration. I really like how this turned out. Alright, so new this month is a meal planner. I haven't used a meal planner in my bullet journal in a very long time, and it looked very different the last time I used one. But I'm hoping for this to help myself feel a little bit more prepared when it comes to especially like breakfast and lunch for school. Having breakfast prepared and ready to go so I can grab them in the morning, and being able to pack lunches that are not only, you know, healthy, but also that are filling and will sustain me throughout the school day, because I definitely have noticed that not teaching online anymore, actually teaching in person, I get hungry. Like, I'm eating breakfast a lot earlier in the morning than I'm used to, and so I'm hungry earlier in the day than I'm used to, and you know, it's a lot of mental work, and that can make you really hungry. So I'm hoping that this will help me to feel a little bit less frantic when it comes to, oh my gosh, I need a lunch, oh my gosh, you know, what am I doing? And will help me to rely a little bit less on like chips and things as, you know, from the vending machine as like a midday snack. I'm hoping. We'll see how this goes. But that is the goal. So I've drawn in my grid. It's just for 5 days because I figure I won't really need to plan that much on the weekends. So 5-day grid, Monday through Friday. And then I have space on the right hand side of that to write out, you know, kind of what's working, what's not. I'm wishing now that I had added a space for like favorites, or just a brainstorming space to generate ideas. This may end up in future months turning into a Dutch door spread, I'm not sure, but we're gonna see how this works, and I will keep you posted on that. So just putting in the days of the week. I've put in some decoration at the top along with the header, again using more of that washi tape, and then I am doing every second line highlights for each of the days and each of the meals, just so that it will help me visually to just like keep track of where I am on the page and not like, I don't know, not use too much space for any given meal. I mean, I think this is how it'll work. I don't really know. I could be very, very wrong about this. And I'm also doing those highlights. I really like the way those highlights look, so I'm also going to be doing them on the reflection space as well. And you'll start to see more of that style of highlight in future spreads as well. So next I've got my cash flow tracker, again something I got from Aaron Smith. I drew this out before filming this. I didn't see the point in making you watch me rule in a whole bunch of lines. I am going to do that every second line highlight. I just really like that. Writing in the titles for each space, and then I'll put in the header and a little bit of decoration. But this page rather is very, very simple. I not used it a whole lot over the summer with being on vacation and everything. Just didn't really work out, but I am ever hopeful, and so hopefully this month will be the month that I actually use it. Again, with this, the goal is just to develop some healthier habits surrounding money and, you know, really seeing where I'm spending my money and where it's going and that kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. I don't really have anything else to do on the right-hand page, so this is going to be my notes page. I really enjoyed the ruler sticker and the pen. Again, these pens are super long, So putting them lengthwise along the sides of the pages seems to be working pretty well. And so, yeah. So I've just got some cute decorations, and I'm going to put in those highlights so that they kind of stop at the edges of the decorations rather than going behind the decorations. And I just think that looks really cute. This is going to be it for this setup. I am doing my first weekly of September in a separate video because that is really something I had to think through. So enjoy the flip through and subscribe, give this a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!